And we're back with another video. A bit of mess here and there. I was on the Football United TV channel right now, and we had a great discussion there. But this is something different. Before I get into more or less the topics, I will be having a few guests coming on as well. Big up to Ryan in the chat. Big up Miss Melina. And let me just share this funny thing that has just happened. Apparently, Erling Haaland wins Bundesliga Player of the Season over Robert Lewandowski, who broke the 49-year-old record for most goals. So Lewandowski has been screwed again. Like, I don't know what's just happening there. Big up all you guys. Big up Miss Melina and Ryan. I think Charlie and Mali and some of these other guys will be coming in as well. So Relentless said that he'll probably be joining in as well. So big up to them as well. And if you're new to the channel, do subscribe. If do like the video and share it around if you want with your friends, because this could go into something intense. Because a lot of people have different opinions about a lot of different things, like with respect to the season. So once we get into it and once we start discussing those things in detail, I think a lot of you will understand what I was talking about. Why this video will seriously get intense with respect to a lot of things. So big up to all you guys who have been around this channel and supporting. As we have like almost 1,000 hours to go with respect to monetization, and should be done. It was supposed to be done this month, but could be done by maybe say in June. So I think it won't be pushed too far ahead, but I think a few days here and there. I don't think that will hamper the progress of the channel that much. But big up to everyone who's been supporting the channel. Sorry. And literally while I was on that stream, the one on the Football United TV, I was like literally having my dinner while I was kind of on the stream with my camera off. So now that I'm done, I am here. A few quick topics, as we have mentioned in the description of the video. We'll be going through the best 5 players that Arsenal had this season, the worst 5 players that Arsenal had this season. Further, we'll be talking about Leno's season, where I have a different opinion. People have a different opinion. Some are calling him one of the worst players of the season. I am saying I think he's still in my top 5. I think if I put him in my top 5 list because he had a few bad games, but overall his contribution, and he saves us when we need saving in that sense. So I don't rate him better than Martinez. I don't say Leno is a better keeper than Martinez. I wanted Martinez to stay over Leno, but based on his overall contributions this season, I still rate him in my top 5. Then we can have a discussion about what people think about Odegaard. I was just looking through some of the details. I'm not too sure whether about another player called that goes by the name of Mavropanos. I think his move to Stuttgart was on a loan with an option to buy. But if I'm not wrong, I somewhere at the back of my mind also remember that I think there was no option to buy there. It was just a loan deal. The other thing is he had extended his contract with Arsenal before leaving. So that is another thing that is about that Mavropanos deal. So even if Arsenal can sell him and cash in on him, I don't mind that. I would be happy because I don't think he fits into our plans and he's not good enough for the Premier League level. So that could be another thing that could be coming our way. So a lot of things to discuss, and I will slowly get into the details. But before that, I would request you guys, whoever is watching, just to drop a like and share this video around if you can. And overall, I mean, the watch hours are doing great. As I said, it's almost on 3,000 hours now. All we need is another 1,000 hours. And we can go on and on. We keep having these long streams. We keep having long discussions. Apparently, it's being said that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these could be, if the situation doesn't improve, it could be banned in India. That is what is the story going around, even though that is highly unlikely because of the losses that all companies would make and it would mess the economy up. But just saying that that is something that is going around, and so it is what it is at the end of the day. And like as I was saying, more things to follow, more updates to follow. The funny part about this video is, if you can see that I made that thumbnail, even though I'm not too happy about it. The reason I'm not too happy about it is because I wanted to fit the logo on the right, but unfortunately it did not let me do that. And then I tried to, the Arsenal logo was a fit. That was not a problem. I don't dislike that. The only part was that I had to fit the logo of Beyond the Post at the center. Probably I will try to do something more with the next one. But this was my like first thumbnail that I actually made for my own channel, and I know it's not. I mean, it'll get there, but that is at the end of the day. So I enjoyed making it because editing is something that I can do with respect to whether writing and more as well. And Ryan is saying YouTube is getting dead, and selling Martinez was a big mistake. And I understand what you're saying, Ryan, but at the end of the day, now what's done is done. If Martinez left, he left. And YouTube getting dead with respect to that, I think it's all these channels have their fixed set of audience that they have and that you can say that they relate to. And once you set your user base, it becomes it kind of becomes that user base that remains loyal to you. So in that sense, it is what it is. So you can see, you can either keep thinking about it that these guys are here, not there, people watch me, people don't watch me, or you can just keep focusing on your content, and it will automatically get more attraction, and eventually it could develop into something big. So don't think too much about it whether 2 people watch you, 5 people watch you. It always helps when more people watch you, but even if they don't watch you, you just keep doing your thing. Even if you like, whether it is with respect to content or your website, whether it is anywhere else. And the best thing that someone can do is just go ahead and invite their friends. If their friends are free, like your friends must be free, if they can subscribe to the channel, that helps. That is all that someone needs, like a little bit of a push here and there, and everything is fine. So at the end of the day, that is about YouTube. We'll be doing a lot of videos, just waiting for the monetization. Once the monetization starts, we'll be going on for long hours. We'll be having good chats. We'll be having big chats with a lot of people, and we'll be planning everything out better. So I'm not too concerned about it, Ryan. Don't be too concerned about it. Just do your thing. Just have fun. Just enjoy what kind of content you make. And at the end of the day, if it has to grow, it will grow. But once monetization starts, at least there is some money coming in from the channel. It could be if people enjoy your content, or people find you funny, or people you support people support you back. So in that sense, you could still get super chats and more. And Griezmann and Felix swap rumor is interesting. Thanks for the news. No worries. I did not make that video. It was my editor who did it, and he did a good job. The only thing is he's working on that intro that we need, intro, outro, and probably the countdown video is ready. So all we need is an intro and outro video now. We are working on ideas for the intro, and once we have finalized that, I think that will be great as well. So we need a new kind of intro, like a softer tone, like a subtle one. So if we do that, then that will be great. And Ryan is saying I make about 3 videos a day, so I upload a lot. Yeah, I can understand, but your videos are like soft and sweet videos. Our videos are like feisty discussions and debates and more. So let's see what happens with respect to that. I will just be tweeting out this video again on Twitter, and let's see if people are interested. If they want to join in, hold on, do join in. We are live now. Arsenal, AFC, and of course. So I have tweeted out the video yet again, and let's see what happens. I'm unfortunately not able to share it in WhatsApp groups. I'm sharing it on Facebook as well to an extent. For some reason, that is what is the problem with these social media apps. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And I am 7 subs away from 100. Big up to you. So hopefully those guys, you get those 7 subs as soon as possible, because 100 is a good milestone, and if that happens, then it's great. Then that means your hard work is paying off. And at the end of the day, you can do more. You can do more with the channel, then try to push it to 1,000. If you can go ahead and push it to 1,000 after that, then that works great as well. So we do have a lot of good topics to discuss on. I'm just waiting for if some of the guests will show up. Definitely, we will be able to push for more. And hold on. So big things happening. Lol. I just saw something funny. There was this guy on Twitter who posted that I would pay someone to write an essay for me, and suddenly a company named Essay and something, Essay and Things, I think. and suggests that they just tweeted it out that we can write essays for you. So big up. There is an update coming in from one of the Twitter accounts that Mason Mount could be injured for the Champions League final and he may not be there. He may not be fit in time to play. I am not too sure whether the rumor is a verified one, but I have just retweeted it out. And if there is any truth and any honesty to that story, then Chelsea could be in big trouble. Chelsea already don't have Mendy. Apparently, what I heard from, they don't have Mendy. If they don't have Mount, they are already struggling with respect to quite a few players being injured. N'Golo Kante is not fully fit. Chelsea were my favorites to win the Champions League this year, but if these injuries are building up and they don't have some of their big players now, this could be a big problem for them. And Tuchel, he's already lost the FA Cup final. Fortunately, they were lucky enough to get into the. They were fortunate enough to get into the Champions League for next season. But as we know that if you start losing your players, then it's always going to be a problem. Big up Ryan again, and big up JFUL_12 and Arteta out. But I think this is more to do than with Arteta. There is more to discuss here, and we are going to be talking about a lot of different topics. So if you guys are interested, let's start and get on with it. Hold on just a second. Yeah, so the topic, no, Ryan, hold on. I will wait for 5 minutes because I will address a few things, then we can go ahead into it. But just give me 5 minutes. I'm just sharing the video around on another platform as well. So once I get that done and once I start the discussion, then I can have you on as well. Okay, the video has been shared now. So big up to everyone who's watching. And 1 second. So the first topic that was, hold on. Yeah, so the first topic that we are going to discuss is, I had mentioned a tweet, I had sent a tweet out that who are my 5 best players of the season. And as always, there was a certain debate here, there, everywhere. It keeps happening. Debate, discussion, not this, not that. People saying here, there, we don't agree, we disagree. It's the story of the day. Like, I mean, it always keeps happening. So nothing more to say about that. And so can't do much about it. That is just the way how things are on Twitter as well. Discussions, debates, and more. So that is how it is at the end of the day. And big up to all you guys for your support. So I'll be just sharing my screen with respect to the first update. Big up Charlie, and big up to you as well. So again, now I'm sharing the screen and I'll be putting the link in the chat after that. Hold on. So Twitter screen shared. Why is it blanking out? I'm just trying to see. Yep, big up to the people watching. And let's go into the tweets that I have been tweeting out. Okay, Mason Mount, as I said, that injured in training. That is what is being reported. I don't know how true it is, but yes, that is the story coming in. I have put out the source as well, so you can just take a look. If that is close, if that is true, then that is bad for Chelsea. They're in a mess. I mentioned the Haaland one. Haaland won over Lewandowski. That is weird and strange and stupid. But anyways, it's done. Twitter may be banned in India. That was something going around. Trolls. Stop trolling the UEFA Conference League. It is something that is good for the smaller clubs. And where is this? Pepe start to the season. We'll get into this. Worst signings, 5 signings, and the worst 5 players. And this is about the best 5 players now. So as I mentioned, my best player, obviously, I'll be putting now the link in the chat so that before we start the discussion, I can go on and discuss about it. So I think Ran wants to come on. If anyone else is free to come on, definitely come on. Saka, Smith Rowe, Lacazette, Leno, Pepe. I don't think there was any debate about the first two. I think Lacazette being our top scorer of the season, also there was no debate about Lacazette as well. The only controversial ones were Leno and to an extent Pepe. And one of the guys also suggested Zaka. I said that Zaka is my number 6 in this list. So according to my list, this is the current situation, and I'm just adding Ryan into the chat. Ryan, go
Hello.
ahead, Ryan. How are you?
Hello. I'm good.
So whatever football, okay, Marley is here as well. Big up to you as well.
There.
Yep. So what do you think about this list? Do you agree with it, or you are also thinking that Leno shouldn't be there? Because I got a lot of people telling me that Leno had one of his worst seasons, even though I had put out some stats, which I'll share as well. But what is your take on Leno, Marley?
Leno's a good keeper overall. He does have a brain fart every now and then. He makes mistakes, but then again, when you're looking at the Prem, there's no keeper without a mistake in him. So like I'm basically fine with that. I don't think Arsenal should be actively trying to replace Leno. If a good offer comes, sure, sell him. But the thing with Leno is, from the style that Arteta clearly wants to play, he's very bad with his feet. Very bad. That's something that like it doesn't look like it. A lot of people don't notice how important the goalkeeper is when you're trying to play this way, right? Like that's I think Pep has Guardiola has made that very clear throughout his career as a manager. So that's definitely a concern right there.
But then again, Edison has his brain fade moments as well, as you know. So
yeah, like I was saying, everyone in the Prem has mistakes in them.
Yeah. So that is why I was asking you, are you okay? Would you say that Leno should be in the top 5 players of your current Arsenal season, or would you not? Would you have like a Zaka or someone else there?
I mean, I gotta be honest, because it's a little weird saying his name. If you're just talking about the time he was on the pitch, I'd probably replace Leno with Tierney. The thing is, Tierney did miss a lot of games because of injuries. So I'm probably okay with that, man. I'd probably put Pepe ahead of Leno, but that's basic. That's a very sensible top 5 in my opinion.
I was waiting for Relentless to come on because he would have gone berserk over Pepe. He just told you. I mean, how can you? Yeah, Ryan, I'll just come to you 1 minute. I was saying, how can you rate someone based on 2 months of the season, or 1.5 month of a season, or even 1 month for that matter? If I think now, and he scored goals in the last 2 games. If not for that, he had like around 30 odd appearances, and he scored 6 goals in the entire season. I'm not saying he started a lot of games. He started 16 Premier League games, but the thing is,
who's that?
Pepe, 16 Premier League games, and he started a total of 16 out of, I think his total appearances were around 30. I don't remember. I need to just check that. Hold on. His total appearances were around 33, if I'm not wrong. But I'll just confirm it quickly, and then we'll get into this discussion as well, even though I want Relentless opinion on that. His total, Premier League appearances were 29. Out of that, he started 16 games. He's had 1,611 minutes. And the 2 goals, the 4 goals that have come in the last 2 games. So if you don't count, maybe you say he had 27 appearances. He had 6 goals, out of which 14 of those were starts. So 14 starts, 6 goals. Again, another you can say 13 more substitute appearances. Total of 1,600 minutes in the season and 10 goals. I think is not good enough for me. Even though I put him in the top 5 because, as I said, he did have some good moments across the season, but lack of consistency is a big problem with Pepe. But before I come to you, Mali, again, Ryan, based on what you have seen of Arsenal throughout the season, who would be your top 5 and what would you change out of that?
Well, it's quite a decent top 5, to be honest. Again, like the United TV said, Leno all goalkeepers make mistakes, and Leno is not really good with his feet. I'm a goalkeeper, and it's not always hard. It's not always easy. But it's top 5. I might stick Lacazette in second, Smith Rowe in first, Saka in third. I might stick Pepe in fourth rather. I'm trying to think here.
And who would be your fifth? Granit Saka. Granit Saka is like a taboo name. I don't know why. I do not like him. I do not rate him highly. But you have to accept that it doesn't matter what happened in the last 2 seasons, because when you're talking about the current season, you have to focus about the current season. If you're criticizing someone for a current game, you're criticizing that player for the current game. It doesn't matter what your overall feelings are about him, what he did last season. So that is why I said Xhaka is 6th for me in this list. Would you take him over, or would you take some of the guys mentioned David Luiz, other guys mentioned Gabriel. So, but I think Gabriel also needs to be more consistent and play regularly. Big up Rich Sports as well in the chat. David Luiz was also injured, in and out of the team, in and out of form.
Yeah.
So that is why these guys are not there. And Ryan, so who was your 5th?
I'd probably say these are decent players. I'd probably say, still thinking here. Why am I forgetting all the Arsenal players at this moment?
Well, they're all quite forgetful.
Because you're a Cardiff City fan and you don't watch that much Arsenal, maybe.
I'm just gonna try something here. It might get me off the screen, but I'll just rejoin anyway. I'll try something.
Okay, you can take your time and get that 5th name out. But till that time, Mali, any changes you would like in particular, or you're happy with the 5?
I mean, not necessarily changes, because I'm not unhappy with the 5 whatsoever. From the names that you've mentioned, I mean,
Yeah,
David Luiz was definitely missed this season, but I don't think he played enough for us to say he was one of our best players. I feel like I'm surprised that you didn't mention, like you didn't say people were talking about Odegaard, because I feel like people overhype him a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people put him in their top 5s, for this season. I think Magalhães was the best shout there from the players you've mentioned, because yes, he has been inconsistent, which is something that's expected from such a young defender joining such a big club in such a big competition, right?
yeah.
But I honestly feel like whenever he played really well, our defense looked so solid. When he was having like games that were a little iffy, then you see that we're not that good. So I feel like he made holding better in general, like when they played alongside each other. So maybe he doesn't replace anyone in the top 5, but he's a very strong contender to be that 6th spot,
Okay, and I'll just add Ryan on. Ryan, who's your 5th one?
Well, that was an epic fail. I just want to say that was an epic fail. It literally just took me out. So yeah, I was trying to go into a different screen, but it wouldn't let me. So whatever. Leno hasn't had the worst season. Pablo Mari hasn't had the worst season in the world. Leno has made a few saves, and Mari's been decent. I think Gabriel did really well to score on his debut, to be honest. But he needs to be more like that, and he needs to. He's young now, but every year gives him more experience. So I think he should learn from players like David Luiz and more experienced players like him, that are older than him and has more experience, and he should learn from that. But I'd probably say, I'm not sure if Pablo Mari squeezes in there for me.
No, I don't think those guys squeeze in, because they have been interchanging and replacing each other. Gabriel too was caught COVID, so at the end he was dropped from the team as well. And I am not saying that they were bad, but I think these guys have been better. And Tierney I cannot include, because I like him as a player. He's very talented, but some of the other players have been playing a lot more games than he has, and he has been out injured for some of the crucial games, like the double tie against Villarreal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he played in the second leg, but again, he was not fully fit. So that is another problem that we have. Go ahead.
this is controversial, but I am going to put Tierney there, mainly because in fifth, because we're brilliant. So
You cracked a bit. Your voice cracked a bit there. You cracked out a bit.
when he brilliant, I
Yeah,
gotta
when he
say
played.
that. Yeah, that's when he plays. Smith Rowe has had an
Yeah, had
amazing
he been,
season, though. He's there.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that. Go ahead.
when Tierney plays, you can see the difference he makes, right? Like that's why he probably played over 50% of the season, so that's probably enough for him to be in the top 5. I agree with him actually. I'm just a huge fan of Tierney's. It's the player I trust the most. You don't.
Yeah.
I mean, with the exception of when we play Liverpool, because Salah loves playing against Tierney for some reason. Like Tierney's just not good at stopping Salah, but other than that, Tierney doesn't really have bad games. So,
There is a
so
reason. There is a reason. Not just Salah, it was Mahrez as well. Because Tierney is left-footed, and these players like to cut on the right, like on his right foot. Both Salah and Mahrez, so they would always have an advantage over him. But the thing
yeah,
is, you need to understand one more thing. The reason I cannot put Tierney there, or I have not put him in my list, is because he was playing as left centre back at the start of the season because he was not fit again, fully fit.
Yeah, I
So,
understand.
and he was
so
phenomenal as a left-sided center back, mate.
no, he wasn't. He was better as like a left back,
Yeah,
and
of
once we
course.
switched to a left wing back. So I think at the start of the season also, like he has games. I'm not saying. I think he has like he. I don't think he has 50% of the games, but I'll just quickly give you a total count of how many games he has played this season, so that we have a better idea, and then we can also have a further discussion on it.
Yes. You know what? If you
Yeah,
forget the technicality that technically the good football wasn't really for us,
yeah.
Willock was definitely one of the 5 best players from like Arsenal players, right?
What would you sell Willock though for like a decent price for like
Yes.
15 million?
15
15?
is too
No,
less.
no,
We are
no.
trying to get around. The
20
club has put
million,
out
30
35 million is
million.
what they are demanding from Newcastle.
I think that might be just a bit over his. I don't rate him that high as his value, but
Oh, his mom doesn't
but
either, but he just had a really good end of the season.
yeah,
So
he
I
has.
feel like Arsenal can probably get 30,
Keep
which I
him.
would sell like so fast. I would sell
Yeah,
so fast.
maybe.
But I do feel like
But one
Arsenal's going to accept
person,
anything like 25 by the end of the transfer window because we're just trying to make some money.
you
Uh,
need the quality though. You should keep him because you need that quality, and Willock has that quality, and he's young as well.
Yeah, but
And
he's been
Nketiah
here
linked to
forever.
Brighton. Yeah,
Like Willock has played, he's got a lot of professional minutes at Arsenal, and it never worked out. Like I know there's probably some technical explanation for that, but I just feel like it's more he's our best asset to be sold right now. I just said that in the previous stream that I was in.
yeah.
I feel like the best player for us to be selling right now is Willock because he ended the season in a very high. He's English. He didn't work out for us, but he did show that he can turn it up somewhere else. So I feel like he's our best bet at making some money. If we're not to lose like some of our most important players, like I'm sure Natasha's gonna suggest in a bit.
No, I am okay with selling Willock, but I was just checking. Tierney played 27 games in the Premier League, 27 appearances. 26 have been in the starting 11, and he has around 2,000. How many minutes? 2,300 minutes. But again, he's been out of the squad for quite some time as well, and he's missed a lot of crucial games as well,
He
like
has, yeah.
which could have propelled us into the top 4. So he's missed around the same 30% of the games he's been missing again this season. If
I
you get
I think
like, yeah, go ahead.
one player you could or should get rid of is Aubameyang because he hasn't impressed. He scored versus Newcastle, but that's Newcastle. They almost got relegated this season. Like they were about 10 points safe, but that's not always the best. Like the best, it's not always comfortable like that. You need to be picking up more points, and that was Newcastle. So I think would you sell him back to Dortmund? Like what like for both of you, what what would be like the lowest and the highest price range you would sell him for? Aubameyang.
No one is taking him. That is the problem. His wages are too high. They're
Yeah.
not taking him. If his wages were low, they would have taken him.
I get the initiative, but it is sort of a moot point because right now, like because of his contract renewal, we're sort of fucked. Like let's pray to God. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have cursed, but let's pray to God that he comes back to his good days. Because honestly, I don't get it. It's like someone cast a blocking spell on him. It makes no sense whatsoever that he had like 6, 7 amazing seasons in a row. Not all Arsenal, but just as a player and playing in top level. And out of the blue, like he's one of the very worst strikers of the Premier League this season. We're talking about starting strikers.
Unai Emery's wife
wanna
probably got to him.
I want to say
Ex-wife.
2 things here. You remind me of a curse there, Marley, about Aaron Ramsey when every time he scored a goal, someone famous died.
I remember that,
That's
yes.
one curse.
Yeah.
Like
I
David
remember.
Bowie died straight after Ramsey scored a goal.
Multiple people did.
Multiple
And
people did, but
I watched
that
Labyrinth
role
as
was
well.
bad.
So I've watched Labyrinth as well. So David Bowie, it's quite cool.
You know, I'm hoping Relentless comes on soon because he'll be saying, put Pepe right up there. He's better than Saka. I'm telling you,
Put Pepe up there.
No, I'm telling you. But okay, let me get into something before I get into the worst side of things. And like if he comes on as well, definitely we'll have a discussion. But I'll share something else with you that I just spoke on Marley's stream right now, and some of the guys wouldn't believe me. So I guess you can see this, right? I think everyone can see this. This is a rating of a player who's got a 7.56 against Brighton 2-0. Newcastle 7.03, Slavia Prague the 4-0 7.09, Sheffield United 7.1, and okay, let me not get into Switzerland because this is none other than Granit Xhaka, and this is what I was
when
talking
you put
about.
Switzerland there, you made it quite easy for us.
I know, so that is why when I saw Switzerland, I was like, okay, there's no point keeping a secret. But the thing is, as I was mentioning, Sheffield, I think if I'm not wrong, Sheffield, Slavia Prague, and even the game against Newcastle, he played as a left back, and his ratings are obviously slightly higher, you can say, than what he did in midfield.
I'll tell you one thing.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you one thing about Granit Xhaka. I don't like how he plays all those risky cross balls, as he's like in the middle and he tries to play it across and he just gives it straight away. Like, and he tries it on his weak foot sometimes as well. Like, you can't be risking that because one time when Cardiff were in the Premier League, you won 3-2, but Xhaka gave it straight to our players. They go forward and we score. Like, Xhaka gave it away, a horrible pass, straight to our players, and then hello Taisho Claver, if that's your name, tell me if I'm wrong.
Big up Tejo Claver. But I think Xhaka has improved with respect to that. And just one thing, Tejo, if you are new to the channel, do subscribe. Big up to you as well, and do tell us which club do you support. So I was saying Xhaka
was just with us
The
in the
Mighty
other stream.
Bluebirds.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he was with us there.
The guy Henry greater than Benzema.
Yes, him.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see his name. All I could see is Henry greater than Benzema.
Yeah.
So, so I didn't recognize him. But as I was saying, I think this season has been, apart from that one mistake where he gave Burnley the free goal, I think overall he's been decent. He has some mistakes in him, but he unfortunately can't do much about it. Has been our best midfielder this season. But his performances improve. His performances improve when he plays as a left back or a centre back. For some reason.
That's Granit Xhaka's. I called him Janik. Okay, but whatever. That's Granit Xhaka's things though, having mistakes in him. And like
trust
you said,
me, last season I was calling him janitor, not Janet, janitor. As good, not even good enough to be the janitor at the club. But this season he's done well, so I can't complain about it.
Which part does he like mop the floors, or does he clean the toilets? Which part?
Let's not get into that discussion. But
No.
the only thing that he was mopping last season was himself on the floor most of the times and getting yellow cards. But this
He's too
season
aggressive
overall,
for that kind of line work. But I just with Xhaka, it's like I was addressing
Tiho wants to
on
join.
the other one, right?
Yeah.
Tiho wants to join.
Xhaka, like he's not someone we need to be actively trying to get out of the club, because as of now, like Nketiah said, and he's right about that, he is our best midfielder. He is. I mean, if you're talking about CMs and CAMs, because Smith Rowe played a really good season as well. So Xhaka's our best, like more defensively oriented defender. He's someone we need to outgrow. That's simply it. Like we got to start talking about him leaving the club when he's no longer part of our like one of the crucial players, because as of now he's crucial. He's one of the first names on the lineup. Because if he doesn't play, you have some scary options there. Scary options. Ceballos is horrible. Horrible.
Oh, I know.
I cannot stand him.
I know.
El Neni, the thing is, El Neni's going to mess up with he's not going to mess up as often as Xhaka is, because El Neni doesn't really try anything too special. And there's a positive side to that. You know, you need players like that in your squad as well, but he's nothing special. He's never going to be anything special.
He's never going to be, like you said, he's never going to be a first team player for Arsenal. He's probably better off going on loan to Cardiff.
Would you take him at Cardiff?
Probably, yeah. But outside the moon that's probably the biggest moon I've ever seen in my life, because it's massive.
I wanna ask you. By the way, what's your name, man?
Me,
Yeah,
Ryan.
Ryan. Nice to meet you, little bro. I want to ask you, because it's interesting, and I mean no disrespect by that. It's just that you guys are fighting for like smaller things than us right now. So, are there players at Arsenal that you would not take in any way? Like, hell no. I'm intrigued to find that out.
Well, I think goalkeeper is good. We have one backup who just drops everything. He's so sloppy. Somehow he's my favourite player. But I'm not sure if I would take Runnarsson, because I just.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
He's been poor this season. I wouldn't even take Ceballos, to be honest.
Ceballos would dominate the championship. Ceballos would dominate the championship.
I would say something though. I would take Nketiah. I think it'd be good. Him up top, with all that pace, and to support our strikers would be decent.
Yo, if Nketiah works really hard throughout his career, he's gonna become a B-Tech Gabriel Jesus, which is not something bad. No, it's what he can strive for.
I know he gets trolled a lot, but that player looks a different kind of player for England, at least for the under 19s and under 21s. But for Arsenal, for some reason, I don't know, he doesn't just look the same. So don't be surprised if someday he wakes up and suddenly becomes the next Gnabry, because it could possibly happen if he finds a system which fits him and suits him, and he suddenly starts scoring and he doesn't stop. So don't be surprised about that. But just before I get Tycho in, just a quick comments that I got on the tweet. Tierney should be there also. Shame he has been injured so many times. Yeah, but that is one of the reasons I didn't get him in. But I think 27 games is decent enough. I could consider him definitely. Saka deserves a spot. He's my 6th best. Pepe at 5. That's harsh. I told you Relentless was going with that.
Yeah, but you can't. He hasn't had the best season ever, and the only times he has been good has been a few months.
No, not even a few months. Just the last 3 or 4 games. That's about it. He wasn't even. Go ahead.
No, it's a matter of total outcome as well. His total numbers of the season are one of the most remarkable numbers. That's it.
Whose?
You can't base a player
remarkable
on a few
in the sense.
games.
hold on, remarkable in the sense he has
Yeah.
10 goals in like 27 appearances in the
I'm-
Premier League. Yeah.
I'm backing him being in the top 5, not being higher than you placed him. By the way, just him being there. I'm just defending his position as the 5th place or 4th
I
or
get
whatever.
that, but when you guys mentioned that Tierney should be there, I am thinking that Pepe should be the one dropped out of
Yeah.
it. Or would you say Leno?
Pepe got 16 goals and 5 assists this season because you're only talking about the Prem, I think. But 16
Yeah, I'm
goals
only
and
talking about the
5
Premier League.
and 5 assists, that's not a bad outcome, man.
I'm
know.
just gonna, can I,
Go ahead, Ryan, go ahead.
like, this is like saying Messi scores 2 goals in 4 games. He's got to go top 3 or something. He's got to go 2-1. But he would have enough time to go downhill, or he would have had a bad season, or he would have had bad games before that. So you can't base a player just on a tiny little turnaround.
No, the main thing is when Pepe has scored, I'm not saying that he doesn't have 16 goals. As I said, 10 in the Premier League. The other 6 that have come in the Europa League have been against teams like Mold, Dundalk, where
Oh,
even
no.
the likes of
Sure.
Joe Willock were dominating. Eddie Nketiah was dominating those teams for fun. But that does not prove his worth, because when it came down to the game like Villarreal second leg, he was one of the worst players. In fact, I rated him my worst player, with Saka being number 2 there in that list. In that game, every time we passed the ball to Pepe or Leno distributed it quickly to Pepe, he would take a look, he would turn to the left, turn to the right, look everywhere, and then just pass it back. So one of the reasons why most of our counter attacks got destroyed in that game was because of Pepe. And a guy mentioned to me on Twitter that he put in 2 passes, like he created 2 chances. One was for a Rob Holding header, which Rob Holding I feel should have done better, but it was not like a clear chance that he should have 100% scored. He could have scored. He got a free header, but he didn't. The other one was the first time that he actually played a through ball for Bellerin. Bellerin made the run. He played the ball to Aubameyang, who hit the post. So if Pepe did that right throughout the game, the likes of Odegaard, the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe and Bellerin would have been involved in the game much more than what he actually did. But unfortunately, he did not do it. And that is the story of his season. When he got the chance, when he said that Arteta doesn't give me games, I want to play. He came out and he said, okay, I want to play. Arteta said, okay, here you go. Here's your start against Leeds. Even though he had been starting like a couple of games he had started before that, and rest were substitute appearances. He gave him the game against Leeds. What does Pepe do? Get sent off. 3 games, he's out. Willian comes back into the team. And again, because I'm on my timeline, and I will now get Taiko in with respect to his opinion. Pepe, we'll get into that and continue. With respect to Pepe, we'll have a conversation. If you had a number 6, it would be David Luiz. I think if Tierney comes in 5, Pepe goes to 6. David Luiz will come later. Leno should be in bottom 5. That is what I was trying to tell you. People saying that Saka, Tierney, ASR, Pepe, Partey, Gabriel. Again, Thomas Partey had a last couple of decent months. Before that, he had his problems. Tierney for me, I think Tierney should be there again, as we agreed on that. Pepe, Leno both have been average. I will share the stats with Leno about Leno as well. Pepe underrated. A lot of people defending him because of his last few games. Leno is trash. Pepe has been better along with Luiz. Again, same thing.
What are you guys' thoughts on Pepe? Because I'm really confident that he's going to improve, and I think it's clear for everyone to see that he's quite shy. And I know it sounds silly to say that, but I think he doesn't usually hit the ground running. I don't think he had an amazing first season in Lille. I think he usually grows. Like it takes him a while, and now he's playing somewhere where he doesn't speak the language. Like you can see, I saw a video where he like spoke to us fans. He's still struggling with the language, very much so. So that's.
But I think
for you to get some team chemistry, that matters, man. That matters.
No, the thing with Pepe, my problem is that you don't need to know a language to see him overplay. His overplaying is the problem. No one can teach you that in any language if you don't pass the ball when you can see teammates running free. But one more thing, let me just show you what I wanted to show you about Pepe. So I had shared this screenshot. This was Pepe from the start of the season till the Leeds game. 14 minutes, 26 minutes, understandable. Substitute 22 again, 32 again. He started the Man City game, couldn't do much. 83 minutes there, 25 again Leicester, while he was playing in the Europa League. 25 minutes against Aston Villa, and then came the Leeds game where he was started again in the Premier League and he got himself sent off. 3-game suspension after that, so that is 4 games wasted by him, not by Arteta. Arteta gave him the chance after he said that the manager doesn't give me enough time. But because Tycho has been quiet for such a long time, go ahead. What do you think about this Pepe situation? And I'll add Bhargav is in as well. Bhargav and Tycho, before I go ahead, big up to you guys. And Tycho, what do you think about the Pepe situation? Would you rate him in the top 5, or what exactly do you feel like? How was this season according to you?
Well, Pepe in the second half of the season is my player of the season. But like the first season, I think, he's not played enough, obviously. But he's also, I think he maybe lost his confidence in the first half of the season due to lack of playing time. And then he got a little bit frustrated in the Leeds game. And I think that's why he's had such a bad first half season. But the second half of the season, he's really turned it around.
Can we like, if we don't say Tiro, can we go with Tico? Because Tycho sounds like a taco of Thai food.
we can call him Taekwondo. Okay, Bhargav. The problem that I have is these were some of the crucial games. If Pepe had shown up in any of these games, he scored 1 goal against Sheffield United. If he had shown up in any of these games, I feel we are finishing in the top 4. But he just stepped up towards the end of the season when everything was almost said and done. Like no one expected anything. Top 4 race was over. Top 6 was almost done. And that is when he showed up. Now, do I want such a player? Big up to Talk Manu as well. Do I want such a player at the club, or do I rate him that highly? I don't. Because what is the point? If I say that Arteta is performing as a manager in the last 5 games of the season or last 10 games of the season, do I call him a good manager then? I don't. If I say that Callum Chambers performed in the last 1.5 months brilliantly, which he did, do I say that he's the top? He's like my top best 5 players of the season? I don't. So why will I give that ranking to Pepe? Even though I have put him on the borderline between 5 and 6, because all our players have been very bad this season, and I'm saying that very politely. But again, do I rate this guy more than 5th place? I don't. What is your take on that?
Look, for me, Pepe is he's in the same situation as who's the other player that he's in the same situation? He's in the same situation as Odegaard, actually. He's played to his level. I think at the beginning of the year, if you look at all these games, he got pretty much shut down, right? Matty Cash in the Aston Villa game, it sucked. He pretty much shut him down completely in that game. A lot of the defense is really there were times with Pepe, I thought he was a squad player. Towards the end of the year, he's still a squad player next year. I think it's going to take him another year to develop into an absolute star. But what's his age? Isn't he 23?
I think he's 25 now.
He's 25.
I think he's 25.
I think he's 26.
So Zaha came alive at 26.
26. There's some late bloomers there, mate. I think Vardy was like a fisherman at this age.
Yeah.
Not at this age. He was around 23, 24. I think at that point he was he was about to quit football, and then everything changed.
No. But
there's some really
when he became really dominant, he was 26.
Jamie Vardy, he started on his first football wage at £40. Yeah, £40, and look at him earning hundreds and thousands and thousands.
Who, Vardy?
I think he's talking about Vardy. Yeah, Vardy.
I thought he was talking about his weight, and I was about to freak out. I was that's not an adult man's weight.
No, that would be Captain America 2.0.
See, that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing about Vardy, though. He's small, but he can definitely throw some punches.
Oh yeah. He's a fighter. Yeah. He's a fighter. Him.
Yeah,
but Pepe,
he drinks
Civil War.
He can drink.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh, well, he can drink whatever. A can of Red Bull in about, as soon as he wakes up, he can drink a whole can of Red Bull in about 20 seconds. He's crazy.
I guess that is the story about him. He drinks like 3-4 Red Bulls before a game.
Oh man, my intestine just kills me if I do that.
No,
Are you
I can
serious?
I can drink like
No, if you
Nah,
drink like
no.
3 or 4 Red Bulls, that would get your heart rate pumping like big time and bad.
you
And-
think so, but I think people will adjust to it after a while. So
I
they need
have
3-4
some-
Red Bulls to
I have some heartbreaking personal stories with over drinking energy drinks. Like really sad stories.
Yeah, probably jokes apart. That is why Rebecca Wadi keeps complaining on Twitter. But let's not get into the detailed discussion on those things.
It's probably not. Save that for another day.
But
No, but-
just on the Pepe thing, like you can see that his confidence is piss poor. Like you can see it in his face. He's not confident whatsoever. It's important for me that he had a good end of the season. It's not a guarantee whatsoever that he's gonna hit the ground running from the start of next season, but it's what I'm hoping happens. You know, that he just keeps this confidence with him throughout this this summer break, and that he's this player like throughout one season, so that like he's actually worth 72.
I mean, what's his winger ranking in the Prem?
Oh man,
Didn't bother.
He's definitely not in the top. I don't think he can't be in the top 10.
No, he
No.
won't be. Obviously, he'll be in the top 10. He won't be. That is the thing. That is the problem with that I have. Like a winger that is not even in the top 10 in the Premier League is being pushed into the top half of our player of the season. Like,
but that's the thing. Is like now, but it's like the stock market. You're looking at it like next year. Is it going to be in the top 10?
No, it's not. It's not stock market. It's all impulsive. It's all impulsive. What happened like in that one last month? Everyone is forgetting like the entire season. They just tend to forget.
The knockout games weren't his best games. I will say, like I think maybe the Slavia Prague game in the second leg he was actually decent. In the first one, I think it was benched. He was benched against Slavia Prague the first game.
Even in the group stages, he had poor performances. But the thing was, he would end up scoring goals because those oppositions were crap, absolutely shit. And that is why people would forget and they would just see, oh, Pepe is on the score sheet. He has a goal. Oh, Pepe has an assist. So he's done enough. He's doing great.
Like,
I mean, that's half the English fan base, though. Most of the English fan base is goals and assists.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Ryan.
Sorry.
like you,
coming from the
Like
land of
you said.
stats, but okay.
Go ahead,
like
Ryan.
you said, his goals were against. Tell me if I'm wrong. An Irish side, Dundalk, and the Irish side are crap. Like the worst FIFA side is Irish. So if you're only going to be scoring versus teams like that, and you're playing for a big team like Arsenal, I'm not even sure if I can call you a big team anymore. I think I can only call you that, and you're past.
Jesus, that's
But-
mean.
I don't know how to take
It's
that.
accurate. It's
I don't know
accurate,
how to
but
take
it
that
is
anymore.
mean.
And that's coming from a 10-year-old. So you can get the point that what the situation of the club is. But
A 10-year-old Cardiff fan, dude. It's straight up heartbreaking.
I actually didn't know. I didn't know the worst team in FIFA is from Ireland. Actually, I always thought the Indian team was actually the worst. I mean, I hate to say it, but like
I
Are
don't
there
think we'll
any
even.
teams?
Sorry, I don't think we'll even be on FIFA for that
we
matter.
are on FIFA.
No,
I mean,
no.
The
He's
Indian,
talking
the
about the
Indian,
domestic team. He's talking about
The
the
ne-
domestic team.
In-
the Indian national team is 1 star.
Yeah,
So-
I mean,
A bit
We'll
poor, to be
take
honest.
any star that we get right now.
yeah.
Even
No,
at
but-
Arsenal. Even at Arsenal.
Whenever I think of
They
Indian
can-
players, I think of FIFA free agents, you know, because they're always there.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
See,
who
there's the
knows?
thing.
Who knows?
Go ahead.
Maybe Rahul, Edu, and these Vinay are playing FIFA at a weekend, and they see, okay, what are the free agents? Let's just sign them for Arsenal.
No, but in fairness, like a
I've
lot of
never thought,
the developers, they want to put themselves in the game. They put themselves in the free agent section.
Really?
I'll tell you something.
I'm
Have you ever,
serious.
have
I mean,
you
I
ever
had, like,
wondered?
I'll be honest on that one.
No, I don't think so. I think I'll say one thing before Ryan come in. I have played with a lot of players who were like 14-year, 15-year-olds in FIFA.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then when what has
No.
happened is like this was like during maybe you can say maybe the early 2000s, 2005s at that point of time. And what I saw that eventually some of those players were actually like coming up and developing into like well-known faces over the years. So I think there might be a few of those funny kind of characters, but I think most of these players are like young boys or young kids that they put as upcoming talents, and they just like it may be a software or something that just calibrates their growth maybe in the long run, and just puts out a few of them as maybe world-class talents.
So yeah, I'll say my thing now. Have you ever
Yeah, go
wondered who the oldest football player in the world is?
It's a
Any of
Japanese
you
player.
here?
51 or something. Like
Any? His name's. I don't think I can say the first name. Yachoshnani Miura. I don't know how to say his name, but he is Japanese.
When you pronounce his name, I thought you were cracking out a bit rather than you actually saying his name. That's how difficult it sounded.
What
But
do you
go
want me to say the longest Welsh name again?
No, don't go into that. He can
Oh.
actually tell us the longest
He's
ever Welsh
53.
name of a town.
He's 53, Miura. So,
That's
yeah,
giving me
he's
hope,
younger.
actually. Maybe I should start picking up the skills.
Yeah, it's never too late to
I
start,
can't
man.
stop myself. Can I just say it? The longest Welsh name.
Yeah, go ahead. This is actually the name of a town.
Yes, 58 letters. It's
Holy crap.
I know it's just the Welsh language. It's just a crazy language. I gotta be honest. Clan fire plus gwingich go gerich and drobble clan Tasilio go.
This is actually the name of a single town.
Wow.
Honestly, yeah, it is.
I was gonna say someone had a stroke naming that town, but I think someone had like 5 strokes naming that town.
He's at it again. But
Yo, that's a
you know,
contagious
funny
laugh.
thing. Yeah, he does that at times. The funny thing is,
Yeah.
I just saw the group chat that I have with Igal and these guys. The football terrace is allowing Arsenal fans on for some reason. Today he has a soft corner for Arsenal fans. So if anyone is watching and wants to go and join the chat there, he's having people call him in. And Arsenal fans of all people, funny that is. But anyways, overall, big up to everyone in the chat. Let's get on with it. Otherwise, we'll be here for all night long, and I don't want to do a 6-hour stream today.
Yeah, actually, I just came on briefly. I just came on briefly. My brother told me. My brother told me an hour early. His graduation's like an hour later, and he told me an hour early, so I'll be ready in time.
Well done to your brother, Gav. Well done to your brother. With his graduation.
Yep. And let me just share. Go ahead.
Oh, he's graduating high school, right?
Yep, Amway Arena, man. Going to the Orlando Magic Stadium.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I missed that place. I've been there multiple times.
I'll put a video up later of that.
Yeah, do that. I
Wait,
miss it.
please.
Old Dwight Howard days.
So the big criticism I got here was that there is no Willian in it, and
Because he's not. Okay, what's Williams' GA this year?
7, 8, I think.
it must
7
be
assists, 1 goal.
3 assists in the first game. He got 1 goal, that is 4. And how many assists did he get more? He got around 3 or 4.
Leicester.
So it must be 8. It must be 8, I guess, around 8.
I think Willian for Arsenal only had 3 or even less good matches for Arsenal. He had a decent one versus Fulham, didn't he? He had a good one versus Fulham. He had a good performance versus West Brom, and I'm trying to think of the other one.
Leicester.
He had 2 masterclasses. Because this is where I get on Steven, because there's tape of him being forced to like acknowledge Williams' good games. So
Yeah,
he had
wasn't the
2
Benfica one as well?
3, I think. Yeah, overall 3 really good games, and then the problem with him was he had like he lost form. I don't know what happened after or from Benfica. It was like Benfica. It was Benfica, Burnley, and like there's like one other game. Then he just got dropped. Pretty much he came. It was an international break, and then he came back, and then I guess he got injured, and it was just dropped for the rest of the season.
The thing is, actually, one of the reasons I can understand why he was dropped is because at the end of the day, Willian was brought in to be a squad player. The fact that he was benching Pepe shows 2 things. That the first thing is that Pepe was not doing enough initially to actually be benching Willian. Because like if you say that if I am being dropped by my manager, who's not saying that I don't rate you, who's saying that I want you to do better. So what will you do? You will fight harder, you will work harder in training, you will put in efforts as a substitute. Like as I said, he came on in the first half of the season, and you will force the manager to probably drop Willian and take you back into the team. Pepe did something like that. He did tell Arteta, I want you to play me more often. Arteta did that, and he got himself sent off and gone for 4 games, like 1 game and another 3. So again, that is another major problem. Initially, in the first half of the season, Pepe did get the chances. Now, why I've not put in Willian? Before I get you guys into it, the reason I've not put Willian into it is, one, I knew he was bought in for being a squad player. 2, it is his first season. A lot of people don't click on in their first season at a new club. It takes time. I could see that he was making the runs in the first half of the season, but there was no link-up play. I could not see him linking up well with the likes of Aubameyang and other players. 3, Aubameyang, who was the main striker at that point of time, was absolutely shit this season. So even if Willian was doing anything, Aubameyang and Willian were not, like, as a team, they were not doing anything at all. 4, I think he should have never played as a winger, because his pace was already gone at Chelsea, where he was transitioning from defense to midfield to attack. Like, he was playing as a box-to-box player, even though he was starting in like a role as maybe a winger. He was playing more of a transitional role at Chelsea in his last season. So he should have done more of that, or maybe a cam. And the last reason is, I think, again, you need to understand that Willian came in taking a pay cut. It was a deal. Either you go for a Coutinho for 10 million a season, and at the end of that season, if it doesn't work, he flops, you have spent 10 million on him. Whereas now you've got him for a free, Willian for a free. If you sell him and you get around 10 million for him, you still made a profit of around 7 or 8 million. So I don't really mind the deal. I am okay with him being there because he was a squad player. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, not every player that makes a move to Arsenal clicks. And it happens with a lot of players. Timo Werner has been okay with respect to his contributions. Havertz has been weird. Ziyech has been shit. So look at those players. Willian came to us for a free. Those players have been paid big money for, and they are still not doing it. So it happens to a lot of people, a lot of players. And at the end of the day, Chelsea is not saying that get rid of all these guys. Pulisic looks good when he's playing, looks injured most of the time. So again, so there are many examples. I'm just using a few of these.
How is Aubameyang above everybody else?
As the worst player.
I don't know about that, but Ryan, I think
it's because of expectations.
I think Ryan wants to say something.
I mentioned it there. It's because of expectations and his downfall. Yeah. So that is why I put him as number 1. But yeah, Ryan, go ahead.
So I'll have to leave soon because I got school tomorrow. But I can give you my worst 5 players if you want right now. If you want.
Sure, go ahead.
So I'd probably say 5th worst is Nketiah. He hasn't really impressed me too much, to be honest. 4, I can't put Partey that low. It's quite harsh, to be honest. Since, like you said, it's his first season. I don't know why, but I kind of want to stick Willian there because he just hasn't performed for me. 3rd, I'd probably say Runnarsson. 2, I'd probably say Aubameyang. Yeah, I agree with you, Nitish, basically, because he has had a poor season, and he's scoring against poor little teams. So yeah, and in number 1 it's Ceballos. If you were to rate him out of 10, a 1 would be generous. A 1 would be generous.
I mentioned that status.
Should I tell you what I rate him? I rate him.
Good.
I rate him minus. Yeah, this is minus as well. Like, this is minus. Minus 2,152.
You know what you can do is just put minus and the longest name of that Welsh town after it. That is what
Minus van Trijbekweek, ik get it from the Robert van Tissilio. Go.
Exactly. That is what Dani Ceballos has been for us this season.
If you want, I can shout out my channel before I go as well, if you want.
Yeah, sure. Do that so that then we can go on and continue. Go ahead, Ryan. Give a shout out to your channel.
Yeah, I have 2 channels now. I made a channel today. It's called Ryan Alfred. It's just my channel because there's the name of it. So yeah. And I got a YouTube channel, That Cardiff City Fan. I'm on 93 subscribers. My aim by like June or something or July is 100. So I hope I can get that soon. Subscribers have been going up recently. And yeah, I'm making a lot of videos as well. So yeah.
So I'm hoping that at least there are 2 people now watching. One is your one channel and the other is your other channel. If I'm doing any kind of stream,
Are you winning the subscriber battle with your friend, by the way?
he's already won it. That
Oh.
thing is done. He's
Yeah.
on 97 now. So big up to you, Ryan, as well. And I'll hope to see you soon and in the chat as
Bye
well.
everyone.
Do put the link of your new channel in the chat as well, so that people can
I
subscribe
left
to it.
I left it in the link of my description in my video. Go subscribe to it. And it said 404 server couldn't be found. It's like it couldn't be found, so it's probably not going to work.
Let's check that out. And big up to you for coming on. It's always good to have you here. So
I'll
we
put
hope
my
that.
main
Ryan, nice to meet you.
I'll put. Oh, good to meet you too.
Go ahead.
I'll put my main channel link in the thingy if you want. So yeah.
Sure, no worries at all, and hope to see you soon again. And you can be in the chat even if you can't be live for some time.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay.
See you soon. So
See ya.
let's go to Tycho. And what do you think about this? And like again, I got 2 names that were highlighted here. One was again, as I said, the one with Holding. People were saying Holding should not be there because he's not been that bad. And I have my reasons for putting Holding there. Again, it's more to do with expectations versus performance. And the other one is that people wanted Willian in this list. So Tycho, what do you think about this list?
I agree with the Holding one. I mean, it's very harsh on him. I mean, stats aren't everything, I know, but I think he's got the best defensive stats of our centre backs this season.
Okay.
And well, with Willian, it's to be expected. He has like 3 good games in, and yeah. I mean, he's gotten on a free, so that's a kind of plus. But then again, he has high wages, so it's also a minor again. So yeah, and I think I would put him in the bottom 5. Yes.
Okay. One thing I just want to clarify that it is a myth that Willian has high wages. His base salary is 100K a week because he took a pay cut to come to us. When all the bonuses get added, that is for the 3-year period, it becomes around 220. Is it 180 or 220K? One of these, between 180 to 220K. That is during the course of the 3-year deal if he's at Arsenal for 3 years. His base salary currently is 100K, and he has some kind of a joining bonus as well that he'll be receiving. He didn't get it at the start. I think it was going to be given to him maybe next season. So I think there are a lot of discrepancies with respect to his contract, which the fans do not know about. They are just targeting the value, which is 220K a week, which is not his base salary. It is his final, you can say, with bonuses. Now we have not finished in Europe, so I don't think he'll be getting a lot of those bonuses as well. Maybe some of the bonuses could include Champions League football as well.
Yeah, but I mean, 100K is not especially much, but I mean, for how he has performed, it's kind of overpriced.
Yeah, I was gonna say from an unemployed standpoint, 100K a week sounds like a very high salary.
Yeah.
But
hey, so I do have to go. I do.
Okay,
sorry, I do have to go. So I'll just put like I guess I do.
Your take on these 5. Go ahead.
I guess I started a channel for like just like showing. It just shows off like some of the places that it's like a travel / technology channel. Yeah, do check it out. I'll put it in the link. I just started, so if I can get like maybe 10 subscribers, it would be cool just to post content daily. So
just put it. Yeah, just put it in the comments as well after the video is.
And I will. I guess tomorrow's the Europa League final.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, we are not there, but it is. It is what it is.
I'll see you guys like tomorrow for that.
And I had subscribed. I think if I'm right, I subscribed to your channel from both my channels. So just
thanks. Look out for
worries.
the Orlando Magic. Look out for the Orlando Magic video.
The only
Big up,
magic the only magic that I know is the one that I want to see at Arsenal. I don't follow NBA, you know that as well. But definitely I'll try to tune into it, and probably because I could see, the funny thing is, after I got hit the 3,000 followers mark on Twitter, I could see so many people tweeting about NBA, and like everyone talking about NBA on my Twitter as well, even though they are mostly all football fans. Their profiles suggest football fans, but they were all talking about NBA as well. So I think there is an audience there as well that we can probably mix and match. So
I mean, just let me know on that. I mean, me relentless. We can talk about it all day. I mean, if it's your first year, like following it, if football's played with the feet, basketball played with the hands, you know both of them. You're the perfect athlete. So.
Yeah, and probably what I'm thinking is once this monetization target is out of the way, we should maybe we'll do a stream on the channel where I am like having a chat and everyone is just coming in, having a 10-minute chat and giving a shout out to the channel. So that kind of probably stream.
That's a great idea, actually.
Let's see what happens. We'll discuss that maybe at a certain point of time when the monetization is in. And just a mutual shout out chat, because we got like a lot of people on Twitter as well. One of the reasons that Twitter has also grown is because of these mutual growth groups that are there.
No, I'll talk to you later though, because I gotta head through traffic. So
big up to you. Take care.
I'm just dying to Bargav. Please let me know what sports played without hands or feet. I'm very curious.
Swimming.
Solely.
No, swimming is
All right, I'll catch you later.
Planking.
You can dance with everything if you know both of them, though.
You can always play with hearts. But anyways,
Catch you later, Bargav.
take care. So so Mali and Tycho, what is your take? Again, Tycho gave his take on this, that he probably would feel that Rob Holding is harsh. I'll give my reasons for Rob Holding before I come to you, Mali, because the thing is with Rob Holding, he was expected to be our top defender. I wasn't expecting David Luiz this season to be the leader or one of our best centre backs. I expected Rob Holding to be that. But if I right now rate our centre backs, David Luiz, Pablo Mari, and even Gabriel are better centre backs than Rob Holding. Whom do I want sold apart from Mavropanos from this team, from the squad? Rob Holding. Why? Because he's been bad. And okay, I could understand that he had a decent season at the start of the season. But you know what the most annoying part is? When he was given the captain's armband, he made a complete joke and fool out of himself. Like, you would expect that giving someone the captain's armband, this guy would perform. Okay, maybe if he's having a 5 each game, he would push himself to a 6. He's gone from a 5 to a 4 or a 3. In that Villarreal first leg, he was damn awful. He was made the captain. And every time he has the armband, we expect him to do something more. And he does the opposite. So I could have had Willian, but then my expectations from Willian were very less and limited as a squad player. My expectations from Rob Holding were like maybe the best right-footed centre-back, if not the centre-back in the team or in the squad. But he's not done it. And I think a lot of people were expecting more from him, especially when he got that contract extension.
All right, that's fair. It's funny. It's funny the way you rank our center backs, because I think our best center back is Gabriel. So it's we're in big disagreement there. But
according to me, Pablo Mari, with respect to Gabriel and comparison, Pablo Mari I think is more stable and more, you can say, solid at the back. Gabriel is a bit reckless at times.
All right, fair enough. But just I definitely I agreed a lot more with the top list than the bottom list for sure. I mean, most of the the one that I think, even though I understand your explanation, the one that I truly feel is unfair is Rob Holding. But you know, just I'm gonna be a little controversial here. I'm not gonna put Eddie Nketiah and Runnarsson on the list for the simple fact that they didn't get enough minutes, in my opinion. You know, thankfully they didn't play enough to have this big of a negative impact. You know, so my list, I understand Aubameyang being first, because I think your criteria is very fair, because going from your clear out best player for 2 seasons, then dropping like this. So yes, I'm gonna agree with Aubameyang number 1. Ceballos was truthfully the worst player number 2. Sure, I'm with you there. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure who I'm gonna put 3rd, 4th, or 5th. But in 3rd place,
Yeah.
Sorry, never mind that. But the three other names, I think I'm gonna put Willie in there. I understand that not much was expected from him, but
Yeah.
just like from because he's very experienced in the Premier League, because he was playing at Chelsea, right, like another really big club in London. It just like it was quite disappointing still. Like his numbers
Yeah.
are just like extremely low. All other wingers put up better numbers than him. So I think he makes the list. I think like from the criteria of expectations, right? I think I gotta
Yeah.
put Partey there, mate, because he was quite disappointing. Like I was expecting him to be our best player this season. I truly was, because the way he played
Yeah.
at Atletico Madrid, I was expecting him to transform us, and it looked like he was gonna do that in the beginning. Like he had good games in the beginning, he had good games towards the end as well. But then
Yeah.
middle area was just shambolic. Like I don't get how bad he was. I don't understand it. And the other name, and I'm very surprised no one is talking about it, is Hector freaking Bellerin, dude. I hate his guts. I hate his guts so much. Like in the beginning of the season, I don't know if you guys remember that, but I just find it so unacceptable. He reversed
Yeah.
3 free throws in like 2 games or
Oh,
3 games or whatever. Dude, you're a professional freaking footballer. You're a professional fullback. What the? What are you doing? Like, what's happening there? Every now and then, it looks like he doesn't have feet. It's all chin, because like the ball just doesn't stop on his feet. It's like the basic things of a footballer, like his passing, everything is so subpar. And I got it in the beginning because he was so fast, but now like he doesn't have the same speed anymore. I just don't see why he gets any minutes whatsoever. I see it so clearly that he's our worst right back by far, by far. I should say that a lot of people were screaming for Maitland-Niles when he was still here, and he was playing so shit too when he was playing in the right back, maybe even worse than Bellerin. But from the ones that are here, Bellerin's just like god awful for me, so he probably makes the list. So yeah, I'm replacing Nketiah, Runnarsson, and Holding with Bellerin, Partey, and Willian.
The only reason I understand what you're saying, and the only reason I don't have Partey in is because of his injuries. Like it's not been
Yeah,
only because
fair.
of his. It's not just been that he's not just stepped down, or it's because he's not been fully fit. Like he had to be rushed in at one point of time, which I can understand. Like the Spurs game, it was the North London derby, and eventually in between the season as well, Partey and El Neni, as I had mentioned, was the best pivot that we had, double pivot. And Xhaka was watching from the bench at that point of time. But then again, El Neni got COVID, Partey got injured, so he's just still getting used to the pace of the Premier League. First season, it's not going to happen instantly. Again, that is what I keep telling the Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
With respect to Bellerin, again, I think it is a game of expectations. Why I don't have him there. Uh, Eddie Nketiah, I cannot remove him because he was playing as the lead man and he was benching the likes of Lacazette at times. So I think I can understand your take on Runnarsson or Holding, but I would
Mhm.
not still replace Eddie Nketiah because he played enough.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
really
I think
bad. He's really bad.
yeah, he's not good enough for us, and he played and he's taken away chances from the likes of Lacazette, Balogun, and all these guys and done nothing with it. So
I'll be
that
right
is
back,
why,
guys. I'll be right back.
sure, that is why I've kept Eddie there. But Bellerin, again, as I was saying with respect to my expectations, Bellerin is not a world class defender. He's not even a great defender anymore. The thing is, his best play is going forward. And one of the reasons Arteta was playing him, he even played him as a wing back against Villarreal, was because of his overall play that he plays going forward. It's not because of his defensive capabilities. The problem is that he and Pepe could not coordinate in this season. Pepe does not like an inward running right back, and Bellerin is more like an inward running right back. He wants an overlapping one. Bellerin was doing that at times. Pepe at times did not find him when he was overlapping. Bellerin was not coordinating with Pepe. It was a mix and match on that right hand side. So I think both Pepe and Bellerin have, you can say, in a way, impacted and hindered each other's progress this season. So I think it's more down to that right wing where I don't see either of them being that great this season. But again, my expectations with respect to a defensive Bellerin were nil. My expectations with respect to his attacking form were okay. I don't mind putting him in ahead of Holding. If I had to go for a sixth verse, it would be probably Bellerin. So 5 and 6 are like again on the borderline. I have put in Holding because I was expecting more from Holding than I was expecting from Bellerin, and he has disappointed me equally. I get that like feeling from Holding. And with respect to Aubameyang, one last thing. With respect to Aubameyang as well, you have forgotten the main one thing that is the biggest factor. This guy is our damn captain. I can understand he's not in form. I know he doesn't have leadership qualities, but most of the season he's not even shown that he actually like has been caring about performing like at a better level. He's not been putting in that effort. Forget what the manager is doing and what is happening around the club. If you are given the armband, at least try to respect that. People say that Saka threw the armband, he showed like the finger to the fans. Aubameyang doesn't need to do all those things, but literally with his performances, it is kind of more or less getting to the same point. He's kind of showing that invisible finger to the fans, where he's saying, "I don't care" at certain points in the season. At certain points after his recovery and the Europa League fixture and overall heading towards the end of the season, it's more visible on his face. But in the first half of the season, it just wasn't visible at all. So it was indirectly him saying, showing the finger to the fans, even though it was an invisible finger. But his performances showcase that the same thing.
And to be honest, he's really had only one good game against Leeds with Cedric.
Yeah.
And about Bellerin, I saw a post yesterday, and that said after his injury or during his injury, he really became not really an alcoholic, but he turned to alcohol. He began drinking alcohol, and I think that's kind of affected his mental part of the game.
Okay, but that injury was like 3 years ago, right? Around 3 years ago.
Well, the ACL injury, yeah.
No, one difference that I've seen with Bellerin is that he doesn't want to overexert his body or like put in too much effort, which may get him injured again, because no player is valued when he's on the bench. Right now, despite everything, he's still wanted by Barcelona, wanted by PSG to an extent. But if he gets injured, like he sits out for half a season, or if he gets injured, so then what happens is then it starts hurting your career. And one of the things that Bellerin I can relate to is another player who is similar in that aspect to Bellerin and not putting in the 100% and just trying to do his best, putting in maybe 60% or 50% effort and trying to get results. Another player that is very similar to Hector Bellerin is Anthony Martial. He's had so many injuries that he's like, now what is the point of me giving my 100% again in the next few games when I'm bound to get injured 3-4 games later? So I can relate the mentality of Bellerin to Anthony Martial, and you guys can also see the result what Anthony Martial is going through, the kind of form this season, and he's like literally, it seems that even he is kind of saying, I'm done with this shit. I want to go to a slower league where I won't get injured.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I get all that. I mean, I missed a lot of what you just said. Unfortunately, I hope I didn't miss too much. But I mean, what you're saying is fair enough, and I'm not saying he's wrong in trying to save himself a little bit. But the outcome is a horrible right back. That's just the thing. Like whenever he played for us, he like there's I don't know. I don't understand Bellerin as a professional footballer. I don't have any issue. Like a lot of people have a problem with him liking fashion. I couldn't care less, please. And I actually think he dresses pretty cool. What I'm saying is, as a footballer, he's just not good enough. I don't like. It's gonna blow my mind if he actually goes to a good club, and it could happen for some reason. Good clubs still chase him, but I don't understand the reason behind PSG wanting Hector Bellerin, Barcelona wanting Hector Bellerin. Why?
Because,
what does he bring to the table?
No, because the thing is two things. The Premier League is like very much more physical. You can see the best example is Thomas Partey right now from the La Liga comparison to the Premier League.
Sure.
The other thing is PSG, he will not be playing such high intensity games again.
No.
Farmers League is the joke that is going around, but at the end we know that it is way less intense and he can easily be given time to adjust. At Arsenal, they don't give you time to adjust. If you have one bad game, two bad games, three bad games, you could be done. Even if you improve after that, Bellerin, even if he's been good in some games this season, he's not been getting the credit because he's not been good in some of the other games or in the past year, in the past season.
Yeah.
So that assumption and that kind of, you can say, impulsiveness at times, as I say, or the thing that you rate everything based on what he has done so far and not game wise at times, like Steven does that a lot. He will rate every player based on what they have done in the performance in the season. A lot of Arsenal fans are like that. They don't rate a player based on the current game. If today I am putting in a 9 performance, people will say, no, he was good, but I will not give him more than a 6 or a 7 because he's been shit for the season. That is now not how ratings should be worked, or like how appreciation or criticism should be. If you start doing that every game, then the thing is, the player will never get appreciated, and at the end of the day, he will never want to go ahead or go beyond a level and improve, because he's always going to be criticized no matter what. This is exactly why I mentioned Granit Xhaka's that one move where he had been good against Everton. The only thing is he saw there was backup there in the box. So what he did is he went in for a tackle on Richarlison, who went round him, and then he put a stupid, silly cross in the box, which Leno put into the back of his own net, which should have never been a goal. And the blame rather should have been totally Leno's, because that is never a goal. But because Granit Xhaka tried to put in an early challenge and he let Richarlison slip on that right wing, the fans only talked about that move or that thing for the rest of the game and rest of the next few games, because they could not get over it. Same thing happened with Burnley. He did not have a bad game against Burnley, but his mistake, this time I can blame him for it, but also Leno for the fact that, again, he played him that pass in a very awkward position. But the thing is, okay, that mistake is made. Jorginho made a very stupid error. The Chelsea fans got over it and they said, okay, if he can perform in the next game, fine. If he can't, then obviously take him out, throw him away, sell him off, whatever. Same thing, but with Granit Xhaka, if Granit Xhaka did that, they would have slaughtered him. I think I had posted a tweet where Bukayo Saka made a very bad error. He gave a very cheap ball away, which almost led to a goal for, I don't remember against which team it was. So I had tweeted this out. And I said, if that was Granit Xhaka instead of Bukayo Saka, he would have been slaughtered all over social media right now. So this season he's been our best midfielder. But players like Bellerin, who has been okay going forward, he's not been great defending. He never was. He's been okay to decent going forward. Will never get a credit when he has a good game. Fans still tend to criticize him because he's been shit for the rest of the season, or before that, or last year, or whatever. If he was so bad since that ACL injury, I don't understand why Emery retained him and didn't sell him. Emery could have sold him. Arteta could have sold him this season. Okay, Arteta probably gave everyone a fresh slate. He will probably go at the end of this season. But I think Emery should have sold him after what he saw under Wenger. But even Emery didn't.
Yeah. I mean, everything you've said is fair, and I agree with everything you said about our fan base. Everything. And that I like to think that it's not my line of thinking. You know, I'm very much a present kind of guy. I mean, I do believe in credit and debit, right? Like when you're talking about a player, like in the beginning of the season, Aubameyang being crap, I was like, yeah, this dude's got a lot of credit with us. Let's give him some time, you know, to get back to his form. But, and again, with Bellerin, you know, of course, like if he has a good game, I'm still going to say, yo, like it doesn't mean I'm happy with him this season, right? But let's see if he like stays on this form. But just with Xhaka, for instance, like of course he has mistakes. I understand the hatred that we feel towards him. He was really disrespectful. Like people can't really talk enough about that incident. Like you can't just throw the shirt on the floor. Even though the fan base was being incredibly disrespectful to him, and you know he doesn't have cockroach blood. It's not cold-blooded. You know, he's a human being that's gonna get heated in some moments, but still, like he can't act like that. But you're absolutely right. People, like, reputation seems to be really important here, and it shouldn't, because football's a present game, right? Like you got to be playing your best players, and Xhaka was absolutely our best midfielder throughout the whole season. But the Bellerin thing made, like, Chambers attacks better than him.
Yeah, wasn't Hector Bellerin the guy who earned us that penalty against Manchester United when Pogba brought him down?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember, but I'll take your word for it. He has some good games against big clubs. Like he likes playing against Chelsea, for example. He has some good games against Chelsea. But just overall in the season, there's some scary moments that I'm just like, what? Like, I wouldn't take him at Fluminense, dude. I'm being truthful to you here. I would not take him at Fluminense. And I'm not saying Fluminense, like, Brazilian league's a shit league. No, but it's much worse than the Prem. I would not take Hector Bellerin.
But you do know that if he comes to your league, he'll dominate it probably.
Just think about the fact that these Brazilian right backs and left backs that do really well in Europe, they start here. So not really, man. Like the right back at Fluminense right now is considered as one of the best in the league. Calegari, he began his career as a midfielder. He's really good on the ball. Like he's really, he's a little guy, but he has a lot of fight in him. I describe him as like a Lucas Torreira playing on the right. But at his age, this is good.
Yeah.
I know Torreira didn't live up to our expectations, but I truthfully feel like if they fought for a position at Arsenal, Calegari would take it. I mean, I understand your line.
Is he physical? Is he like a physical defender?
Yeah, Calegari is very physical. I mean,
so that is where he would probably dominate Bellerin, because Bellerin is not physical at all. But the reason I said he would probably dominate the league is because Brazilian league is, I think, more about attack. Bellerin is good at going forward. He's not good defending. That is his main problem.
Oh, absolutely. He'd shine on that area for sure. Even though, as you can expect, our right backs tend to be really good going forward and kind of bad going back as well. So he could just fit in perfectly. I don't think he'd dominate. I feel like he'd be just another right back.
Okay, so quickly just going through the comments. Rob's not been that bad. You don't really think there's anyone else? Again, it's expectation based. Bellerin was really worse. Okay, here's from FPL Toronto. David is saying Aubameyang 5, Eddie, Leno, Ceballos, Willian. And before that, Best, Saka, Lacazette, Pepe, ESR, and Odegaard. I think here is the Odegaard hype that we were talking about, but we'll get into that. Before that, do you think Leno deserves to be on the worst list? I'll start with Tycho.
No, I mean, he said 2 or 3 mistakes that I can recall. The Wolves one, where he didn't goal, and then the Everton goal. Everton goal. But for the rest, I mean, his contributions been shit. I'll say that. But as a shot stopper, he's one of the best in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, and even the Wolves one, I think the Wolves one, he just got that red card, right? That is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was about red card. So that game was already that we were already losing in a way. So, I mean, our whole team should have done more in that sense in that game. But we got I think David Luiz was the first one to be sent off, if I'm not wrong. So
for supervision.
Yeah, so I think there was like more to it than, but I don't blame him for that red card. It was frustration again, as you said. But then, okay, I mean, like, see, the reason I put him in my top 5 is Leno makes saves when our team is playing well and they leave the defense open. That is when other teams counterattack and Leno makes saves. It may not even be about the clean sheets, even though he has 11 clean sheets this season. I'll give you some numbers. Last season, he played 30 games. He had 7 clean sheets. This season, he's played 35 games and he has 11 clean sheets. Other things that I remember about him is last season, he saved around 101 or 105 shots. This season, he has saved around 81 or 81 shots, I think. So the stats are good enough. And, I wanted to trick an Arteta out fan into coming on for this segment. You know why? Because I wanted that Arteta out fan to tell me, Leno has been shit this season. Our defense has been better. So I would have then told him, so you mean to say that Arteta has improved the defense then? So I wanted an Arteta out fan here for this segment. But anyway, Steven is busy probably with the stream. And some of the other guys must be busy as well. But it would have been so much fun if some Arteta out fan told me that Leno it's not Leno who's getting those clean sheets, but it's our defense. That would have been a funny conversation. Again, Odegaard. Now let's get to that topic. Do you guys rate him in the top 5? I don't.
No,
me
not
neither.
even close, to be honest.
I don't think he's far, but I don't put him in the top 5.
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of people are saying that he's not been good this season. You mean half a season, first of all. Let's make that clear. He's played around
Yeah,
16 odd games. He's played around 16 odd games, if I'm not wrong. 11 in the Premier League or something like that, and 5 in the Europa League. He's got, if I'm maybe one goal in each, and maybe 1 assist in the Premier League. Or no, 2 assists in total. I don't remember if both of those assists are in the Premier League or Europa League, but 1 goal each in the Premier League and Europa League in 16 games, and 1 goal, 1 assist each, if I'm not wrong. But whatever,
Okay,
the total is 2 goals and 2 assists. Yeah.
1 goal or assist every like 4 games. Then, yeah, that's okay. That's not remarkable.
Yeah, so that's okay. So he's not going to be in my top 5 because of that same reason. But he's
Yeah.
not going to be in my worst 5 as well. He's going to be in my potential upcoming talent, you can say, category. And the last 2 games he's had some brilliant, like the game against Crystal Palace. He had that brilliant cross for, like, that was a sexy world class, whatever cross you want to say, for Martinelli, which he scored. He set that whole thing up, that over the top lob that he played for Martinelli. And I think he
Yeah.
was the man of the match for a lot of people in the last game of the season against Brighton. One last thing before I get into with you guys about Odegaard is, I am happy that he's not ending the season like Dani Ceballos did, like on a positive high or like a very high. He's ending it on a decent high, so that the fan base knows when they
Yeah.
come back as well that okay, he's a decent player. He can be more, he can be less also. Because with Dani Ceballos, when he ended that season on a high, like the last one, they expected that he'll probably come back on another loan and like turn the world around, but he didn't do any of it.
Yeah, that's such a great point that I hadn't thought of. It's a very very astute observation right there. Because yeah, Ceballos is shit, but he did finish the season before quite well, and most people were hoping that he stays. Right now, I mean, I don't see a lot of talk about it. I read like once that there was interest in keeping him. I hope to God that doesn't happen, because that's just backwards, right? Like he hasn't shown anything, like any reason for us to want to keep him.
The only way we keep Ceballos is if Real Madrid blackmails us for Odegaard with respect to a Ceballos deal or something like that. So
I'm not sure that's worth it.
if we get Odegaard on loan along with Ceballos, I'd take it probably.
Okay, on loan, yeah, sure. I mean, if we're not forced to play him, because there's some, playing clauses, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
probably.
my man,
If we had the Conference League, I would send Ceballos to the Conference League.
Oh, for sure, or to a Conference League team. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to take off.
Sure. So let's
But,
just wrap it up there. Before we wrap it up, we have addressed most of the topics. We needed some Arteta out fans here, because I would have loved to seen them get triggered by some of the players. Again, as I said, Relentless would have been triggered definitely by Pepe not being in the. I mean, he would have argued for Pepe, get him in the up the list. So Steven would have been fun. The only topic that we have left out, which I will probably say for a separate stream, which will need a lot of time, is that if Arsenal becomes a Dortmund and we start selling our players, what would we do? So I will do one thing. I'll remove that from the description and create maybe a separate stream for it, and probably we can have one conversation on that soon. So before I wrap it up, Mali, can you give a shout out to your channel for anyone that watches this video maybe later in playback?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Well, check out Football United TV. It's been Matt's channel forever, but I recently became a co-owner with him, and I'm very excited with the direction we're taking. We have some upcoming shows that I'm really excited about. The Football United Airways show has been really successful. Like I feel like people have liked it recently, where we tend to visit 2 countries at a time, right? Like talk about those countries' football. And beyond the post here, Nitesh, he's usually with me at Gunners from All Corners, which is really fun as well, because much like it is in here, right? Like we have Arsenal fans from all over the place who have different perspective. So yeah, stay tuned to that, and also follow me on Twitter at MarleyChillin and on Instagram at CharlieMillen93. I keep forgetting to throw in the numbers as well. Yeah.
So big up to you as well. And Tycho, do you have a channel, or where can people find you?
No, I don't have a channel, but you can find me on the Football United TV streams, and you'll find me in every stream here. Subscribe to Beyond the Post. Subscribe to Football United TV.
Yes,
So
sir.
big up to you, big up to both you guys for coming on. And I think I just want to send one message out. We are almost like 1,000 watchers away from monetization now. It's been kind of slow, like it should have happened by now. But anyways, the team that is working behind the scenes is the Rotrack Club. It's a charity organization. They're helping me out by sharing the videos around, by watching some of the videos, because there are a lot of football fans there as well. So hopefully monetization, it was supposed to happen in May. Maybe it may be extended till June. But once we have that, we'll be probably doing some long streams. I downloaded the the PES 2021, and hopefully we do some gaming streams as well. So big up to all you guys for supporting in the chat as well. Talk MU, Cardiff City fan Ryan, Tycho, you were there, Rich Sports, Bhargav, Charlie, that is I think your ID again, and JFUL_12, Miss Melina, and all you guys. So we will be seeing you soon with more content. Big up to all you guys. Be home, be safe, and this pandemic is still going on. So let's enjoy the football as much as we can. Come on, you Gunners.